Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to make bean and cheese pupusas. So to get there, we first need refried beans. And I will show you, I will leave a couple of videos at the end of this video on how to bake beans or how to boil beans and how to fry them, if you will, Latin American style. So now we have the beans, they are already fried or refried. Now we have to blend them. So I put them in a stick blender cup and I'm adding about a quarter of a cup of water. Remember, the beans already have flavor. They got some flavor when I boil the beans, and they got some more flavor when I fry the beans. So we're going to put them in the blender, and we want them to turn really smooth. Don't forget to like the video and give me a thumbs up. Share the video with your friends. You're welcome to subscribe. And if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. And remember too that the ingredients are in the description box below. So now we're gonna reheat the beans. You can add a little bit of oil to the pan and then add the beans. And we want the water that we just added to evaporate a little bit. And you will know that when you run, see how it's bubbling? When you run the spoon and you're going to make a line through it. See, just like that, that's ready. So you want to take the beans off the heat and put them in another container and set them aside, because now we're going to deal with the cheese. I am using feta cheese. Normally the Salvadorians use like a mozzarella type of cheese. I am going to use two different cheeses. I'm using feta cheese because the acidity of the feta goes really well with the refried beans and the corn flour. So for the pupusas, which are the tortillas basically that we're going to be filling with beans and cheese, we're going to add 1 cup of corn flour, and the directions in the package says that all you need is 3/4 of a cup, but it doesn't work that way for me. So as you can see, it's dry, so I'm gonna keep on adding water, a little bit of water at the time until it is very wet and a little bit. It's not gonna be elastic like a wheat flour, but you need to stick your hand and it has to be wet enough in order for you to be able to handle and make the tortillas, if you will. And the best way to do it is adding about a tablespoon or two at a time of warm water to the dough. And what you want is, you don't want the corn dough or la masa para las tortillas to be sticking to your hands. And it's better if it is a little bit wet, because the corn flour absorbs a lot of the water. So you're going, once you have it where you want it, you want to cover it with a damp cloth or damp paper towels. And even with that, you will probably end up adding a little bit more water, as I had to do, in order to be able to handle the dough. Because if not, it's going to break. Like the edges of the tortilla are going to split apart, and that's an indication that you need more water. So that's about ready. See, I don't have any dough basically in my hands. So we have the beans ready and the cheese ready. And what we want to do is we're going to make a little ball. I use a tablespoon for that, for measurement, if you will. And we're gonna make a little ball. The Salvadorians, the traditional way they do it is they wet their hands with oil. But I don't like to do that because the beans have oil already. The cheese has its own fat already. So, and the corn has oil anyhow. So, we're going to make a ball in the cup of our hand, and then we're going to add the beans and the cheese, and then we're going to close our fist and make the ball again, and then we're going to make the tortilla or the pupusa. And you're going to go from the cup of your hand, with the palm of your hands, you're going to be pressing from side to side in order to make the tortilla. Then put it in a pan with medium high to high heat. This is the way I like them, but I will show you another way that you can do it too if you want the pupusas to be a little bit more moist, if you will, a little bit juicier. And you cook them 3 minutes on each side. So we're doing the same thing. We're making a bowl, if you will, in the cup of our hands. We're going to fill it with cheese. This time I am using Fontina cheese. You can use any cheese that is a melting cheese, if you will. Mozzarella works really well. Queso Oaxaca works really well. And Feta, my favorite one is Feta, to be honest. But this is Fontina. And the difference here is once I make the pupusa, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the pan, and once I put the pupusa, I'm going to brush it with oil. And I am going to cook it for the same amount of time, 3 minutes on each side. And if you make it on a cast iron pan, it's even better. I did it on a non-stick, but if you do it on a cast iron pan, it's even better because you can put it on high heat. And corn flour loves heat, a lot of heat. And they smell really good too, that melting cheese and the beans and the corn flour. And that is the final result. Check out my other videos. Thank you. Chaito.